scorer and brings a lot of size. Brian Dorsey, Keith Kimball, and Tim Comer, our officials. Indiana and Northwestern the right to play Purdue tomorrow here in the Big Ten tournament. Here's DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson, who second overall in scoring in the Big Ten, but in conference games led the league in scoring. He scored 23 points per game against Big Ten opponents. Good position underneath, and Sam Alexis scores.
And Lamar Wilkerson early showing what else he can do. He can get to the rim, he can shoot it, but he can pass. Nice entry. Sam Alexis has been on a nice tear for Indiana over these past 7-8 games.
Jaden Reed played well yesterday in the win over Penn State. Here is Trey Singleton trying to work on Reed Bailey, getting the start today, walling up defensively, and Singleton beats him for the basket.
Yeah, both these teams trying to play physical, get it inside early. Trey Singleton, talented freshman, going at the slender Reed Bailey. The size adjustment not working defensively early for Indiana.
Tucker DeVries in his Big Ten tournament debut, too strong. And here comes Jaden Reed on the push. Northwestern got a challenge yesterday from Penn State, only to pull away in the second half from those young Nittany Lions. And Reed doesn't get the hometown bounce.
Jaden Reed, that's what he can do. 22% of his shots in the mid-range. He's shifty right there. You talk about Northwestern. Same thing they did against Penn State is what won them this game, won the game against Indiana and Bloomington, turning the basketball over, physical defense.
Again, Indiana led by 13 in the first half when they played 2 weeks ago. Connor Enright caught off underneath, and then it's lost out of bounds by Alexis.
You see the concerted effort early, Guy. Get the ball inside. Indiana is first in the conference inside the three-point line from 2-point percentage. They're also dead last in 2-point attempts. So, Coach DeVries making a March adjustment here, trying to get higher percentage shots.
Nick Martinelli double team, then it creates a turnover. DeVries took it away. Here comes Wilkerson, and the basket counts. He's fouled.
Indiana defensively has been 16th in defensive rating right there. They force Martinelli out with the size, and they bring two bigs from across the court, force the turnover. Martinelli's normally so good at seeing out of those things this year. And then Lamar Wilkerson, you talk about the shooting, but he's 6'6", getting downhill in transition, big body. The guy, he told us earlier in the year he was actually a driver before he tore his knee up and then decided, made a business decision, look, I got to shoot this thing. He still got that in his game.
A good business decision.
Great business decision. Is paying off for him, for sure.
The foul was on Jake West of Northwestern, his first. Here's West with it. Martinelli, a double comes again. Martinelli gets it out. Ball snapping around to the other side. Bailey forces Singleton to pass. Shot clock is low. Martinelli from the free throw line, and he can't get it to go down. And Reed Bailey, a strong board.
Reed Bailey, Sam Alexis working out defensively now, getting it going. Another good double.
Tucker DeVries trying to get the offense going.
Indiana off to a hot start, just like they did in Bloomington against Northwestern. A little bit of a different way. It was drive and kick on threes. Here it's going inside. Right there, Singleton makes the mistake on the switch with DeVries. Can't do that.
West attacking all the way to the rim, and he scores.
Listen, when this gets going, that Philly kid, Jake West, he doesn't back down. Small guard, got a lot of bounce. He doesn't just dance either. He get to that cup.
A freshman who's held his own this year. DeVries on Sheravino. Tough shot, and he hits it.
Tucker DeVries really aggressive early. That's his game right there. Back you down. The first one was a mid-range pull-up off the move. That's tougher. Right there, it's controlled. He gets the size, fades away.
Sometimes first game in a conference tournament, new arena teams don't shoot it well, but Indiana has started 4 of 5 in the first 4 minutes of this game. Reed with a hesitation and score.
Here's the challenge now for Indiana. They play with the size because they're expecting to double Martinelli, but having a little trouble with these ball screens with Reed and West and the communication.
DeVries, a couple of baskets, looking for another. In and out. That was almost on target.
Tucker DeVries, you talk about not shooting it well. When he gets good looks, he always shoots it well, guy.
He looks like he's feeling it right now. Singleton walled off, well defended by DeVries, who stays in bounds.
A little shaky down there on that sideline, huh?
Counter and right, looking to Darren DeVries, calling the play from the Indiana sideline.
Northwestern passing off these off screens that Indiana's so good at.
Wilkerson hits the three.
That was a great play design from Darren DeVries. He knows Northwestern switching. It's easy to do, but on the weak side, you tend to fall asleep because you got to be in help side. A little pin in for DeVries and a stagger on the opposite side of the floor for the best shooter on the court.
Meanwhile, Martinelli's taken one shot, and it was the end of the shot clock. West contributes with the three.
The strength of this Northwestern team is the front court. Nick Martinelli, Arrington Page, but Jake West and Jaden Reed have given this team life late in the season.
Don't you love when a tournament game starts this way? Teams hitting shots, no stoppages, an offensive foul on Reed Bailey, and it'll be Northwestern ball. The gorgeous lakefront. Just the start of the Big Ten tournament.
Side, free up your man and get him going. Indiana offense is flowing early.
And now into the bench go the Hoosiers and the Wildcats, but Tate Conaway and Nick Dorn have come into the game for Indiana. Nick Martinelli, meanwhile, the league's leading scorer, has taken one shot, and now Reed can't get it to him, and Indiana takes it away.
That's an automatic pass only for Northwestern, but it's in the middle of the floor. That time it's at the angle, so Martinelli pops instead of short rolls. Oh, mix up by Reed and Martinelli.
Tucker DeVries, his jumpers look good so far early in this game. He's got it here on the wing. Attacks and creates for Alexis with the touch.
Sam Alexis does a great job at circling right in front of that rim. Dynamic spacing. Tucker DeVries doesn't create a ton of space, but he's got a big body, so you have to honor that and rotate into help. Great find by Tucker.
Tyler Kropp gives it up to Reed. Well defended by Conaway. Can they get the ball to Martinelli? Not here. And DeVries with the board.
Yeah, and everybody knows Nick Martinelli. They love that high pick and roll. What Sam Alexis does, he just shades to Martinelli and dares Jaden Reed to score the basketball. And again, Jaden Reed has played so well, but it's tough to live like that. Only 35% in the mid-range.
A foul on Northwestern. It's on Reed. Coming up, the 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament continues as Minnesota takes on Rutgers. That is right here next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Excited for that game.
Another good one. Excited for a lot of games this week.
I said Reed, but it was Clayton who picked up that foul. Yeah, it only gets better.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Chris Collins yelling at his guys there. We talked about it in walkthrough. Discipline issues early.
Wilkerson short, and Reed tracks it down. Martinelli's fighting with Sam Alexis for position. They can't get it to him. Now he'll come up and set a screen. Wilkerson guarding him. Martinelli creating. And that is out of bounds to Northwestern.
Indiana, great game plan, discipline right now, guy. Right there, changed it up a little bit. That time, Reed rejected it. Throws it back with a great full rotation to Martinelli. And right there, close one, but
did that graze Tyler Kropp's finger? You definitely saw Alexis hit it. Hard to tell if it grazed the Kropp finger. So ball on the floor, Northwestern ball, Northwestern inbounding. Tough spot for West to get it in. And now here's Martinelli. Clayton stops and scores under pressure from Wilkerson.
Jordan Clayton does not care about me, you, or anybody else in this United Center. He is going to come out here, play hard, do what his team has asked of him. Hit a big shot a week ago against Purdue late in the game. Answers the call there.
Northwestern nearly pulled off the upset 7 days ago in Evanston in the only meeting with the Boilermakers. Nice cut from Conaway and fine from Wilkerson.
Double there on the baseline on Wilkerson. Conaway, great read. Alexis, dynamic spacing again. Can't guard everybody. Good recognition by Conaway.
Martinelli. Tough shot, but it's what he does. And Nick Martinelli gets his first points of the night.
Yeah, he's going to have to take out his do-it-yourself kit quite a bit tonight, because they're not going to let him get to that short roll. He's either going to have to pop or play out of the post. Good adjustment right there.
Well, if anybody needs to pull out an unorthodox tool from the toolbox, Nick Martinelli's got it. He's got tools that nobody else has. There's strong effort from Alexis inside.
And Alexis off to a fantastic start. Justin Mullins with a fantastic effort to contest that at the rim. Hard to keep a good man down. Alexis too big. That's a matchup right there for Martinelli.
West puts it up to him. Crop taps it out, and here comes Wilkerson, who's got 6 points in this first half. The second leading scorer in the league makes it pretty.
Oh my! You ever see he got game? God, that was sweet, Lamar Wilkerson. A little Jesus Shuttlesworth action under the rim. Inside hand finish, that's tough.
Mullins has it taken away by Dorn.
Indiana doing a great job crowding this paint.
Feeling it. Faced up with Martinelli, couldn't hit. Clean up inside, good effort from Josiah Miles. And we've got a foul on the floor.
Indiana rolling, and who else? Lamar Wilkerson, little in and out curl. I can get attempts in that first game. Here it's attacking the rim relentlessly. The two big lineup that they put in, and Lamar Wilkerson getting downhill. And again, Indiana is first over the last 5 in 2-point percentage, second in conference play throughout the season. And they are doing it in the paint early.
They got 4 layups in this first 10 minutes. Josiah Miles was fouled by Justin Mullins before the timeout. How do you get Nick Martinelli going? 2 points, 1 of 4 shooting for the league's leading scorer for the second year in a row. He is in rare air. But right now he has been grounded.
Indiana's pretty well versed in that high ball screen they love to run. They're going to have to start to move Martinelli off the ball. Some of the floppy action they like to run and rip screens like you just saw right there. They don't get it to him.
Reed Bailey chasing Martinelli around. Here's Jake West, who's had a good start to the game. Now Martinelli. West speeding into the paint, and a tough finish for 2.
This kid is going to be good, guys. He is coming to the lineup. They've done everything that Northwestern has asked of him. Be tough, make shots, get to the rim, and be a point guard. He's been great for Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed's been great for him.
Reed defending on Enright, who gives it up. Extra pass to Dorn. Oh, they would love to see him get it going. It's been a cold 5 weeks for Nick Dorn coming off the bench today.
You know, he had to be cold as hot as he was for the 3-4 games after Tatum Conaway got injured. 70% from the corner at one point in the season. He's dropped to 42, but that's his shot. A mistake by Northwestern to pressure up right there.
Martinelli into a 2-point push.
There you go. You got to pop him. You got to get him moving off the ball. The short roll they're going to take away, but they pop him, and Reed Bailey has to move in space. Martinelli attacks the closeout and gets to that patented little flipper.
Oh, a step back. DeVries.
That's the one you don't love. DeVries are closing out. Attack the rim.
West scores again, and again ends up on his back.
Jake West got a lot of flavor, man. He got a lot of flavor. He's funky with the play-up package. He's tough.
And he doesn't worry about the landing either.
Not at all, because we can hear that thud all the way over here.
West is 4 of 4 starting this game from the field. DeVries with the height advantage. Enright yet to shoot tonight, and he converts to 3. Another for Indiana.
Connor Enright got words for the Northwestern bench right there. Clearly the game plan make him a shooter. 58% of his shots are threes, only 30%. But he can knock him down. He's a gamer too.
He's one of the top assisters in the league, averaging nearly 5 a game. Trying to get through Martinelli here. Tough shot for Reed off the mark.
Yeah, Reed's gonna have to start jailing. You see him flicking his wrist. He can make that shot. Have more patience with it. He can get to the rim like he did earlier in the game.
Enright and Bailey gets fouled by Singleton. First foul on Trey Singleton and the 4th team foul for Northwestern.
Into the game against Indiana last time. And then in the second half, they turned it over, got him going. He's averages 25 a game since.
DeVries with a little mismatch inside on West, and West puts up a fight. He took a pop in the face and won that battle.
But you love that from Tucker DeVries. The first one, he could have attacked the rim, step back, shot a tough three. That time, he tries to go right through the smaller West. Just doesn't finish.
And it's not just that Martinelli scores, Jordan, it's that he scores in the paint. He's one of the best scorers in the paint in the league. He averages double figures paint points per game.
Gotta consider that. Northwestern, not one of the better three-point shooting teams in the conference either, and there he goes.
2 more for him. 6 points for Martinelli, staying in contact with Indiana. Enright had it taken away, intercepted by Reed.
What a play by Jaden Reed to release for Enright, get that steal.
West, transition. Now, he turned Penn State over a lot yesterday, and it was part of the recipe in running away. Good defense by West, and it'll be with Indiana.
Talking about turnovers, Indiana only 2 up until that last turnover. Almost a 4th. They got a 3rd, almost a 4th right there. Northwestern turned Indiana over 7 times in that second half in Bloomington.
Enright inbounding from the corner. Oh, tough catch in traffic. Cleaned up by Wilkerson.
Tucker DeVries. Talk about him as well. We talk about Lamar Wilkerson. Tucker DeVries can shoot it, can post up, but he's a great connector, great passer. Though Alexis doesn't finish, good cleanup by Wilkerson.
And obviously that wasn't one, but DeVries has, to your point, 5 assists already in this game. Singleton. Wilkerson trying to hold his ground, and Singleton spins into 2.
Singleton, second time he's taking one of these Hoosiers down on the block. Good recognition right there. He wanted to get to that right. Felt Wilkerson on his shoulder, spins back left, heads up by the freshman.
Both teams are over 50% shooting it in this first half. West bats that ball, another turnover for Indiana. Martinelli in transition, scores. And Indiana needs a timeout. The Hoosiers have led the whole way, but the Wildcats have pulled it within 5.
Indiana had 0 turnovers in 7 minutes coming out of that last timeout. Now 3 here, quick. Jake West does a great job. Watch Martinelli close down the space. Alexis had the length, the athleticism, trying to time it up. Martinelli just drives him under the basket, gets to that left.
So for all the talk about the slow start from us, and he's got 8 points. This was last night, 24 points off 17 Penn State turnovers. And the victory, they advance. The TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament continues with a full slate of 3rd round action tomorrow. You can see all 4 games right here. Coverage begins with the tip-off show at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Iowa and Ohio State, Washington and Wisconsin. Michigan lurking, Illinois lurking.
Michigan don't never lurk, man. Them dudes is too big to lurk. See them coming a mile away.
They match the skyline here in Chicago.
Yeah, golly. Eclipsing is what they've been doing this year. Let's talk about the turnover. Northwestern second in the last 5 points to turnover. Points off of turnovers. You saw how irate Darren DeVries was after that last one. Offense can get bogged down. The way they get to it sometimes.
Alexis doubled by 2 shorter players and has to give it up. Shot clock low. Wilkerson saw it too late, and it's a shot clock violation out of the timeout.
They got Brian McIntosh and the entire Northwestern staff on their feet for that one. What a play by Jaden Reed and Jake West. did a great job at pushing Sam Alexis out from the basket on the double, and then Jake West went for the ball like a little net, like a little pest. Fantastic by the two smaller guys.
Here's West. Conaway in traffic.
Wow. 1-on-4, don't matter. See the hair in the wind, it looks good. Tatum Conaway, he's the X factor for Indiana. Dealt with injuries, but he's the guy who can get in the paint and open up shooters and get downhill.
Doubled Martinelli.
Martinelli, that double gave him a lot of trouble last year. He's gotten better at seeing it, but right now, having a hard time.
Martinelli didn't like that out of his hand. He thought maybe he was fouled. That gets saved by Sheravino off of Indiana, so it'll be Northwestern ball with 19 on the shot clock. Shot clock was under 2 when Martinelli hit the rim.
Angelo Sheravino finds a way into games. He's had games where he scored, games where he's defended. Another one of these Northwestern players who just understands his role. Still young. If he can develop a jump shot guy, he's playing for in the big time at some point, but still ways to go. Super athletic.
Coaches moving their chess pieces around right now as Bailey's going to head out. Dorn comes back in.
You see Martinelli goes to the bench, and Indiana downsizes a little bit.
A foul before the inbound. It's on Lamar Wilkerson. That is his first team foul. It's just a second team foul on Indiana.
Important 30 seconds here. Chris Collins takes Martinelli out. He's got the TV timeout coming. Get him a quick breather.
Here's West, and he sneaks it in, and he's fouled.
Jake West understands the assignment. Getting downhill. We talked about Jaden Reed being more patient, getting to the rim. Jake West doing it right now. You see the screen. Even though no Martinelli, Tucker DeVries not the best in space. And Jake West knows he can get to the Baja, bringing Northwestern back.
Already in this tournament with Iowa. On that Jake West basket before the stoppage, there was not a foul. It was a goaltend call. So West, who averages 5 a game, has 11 already in this first half. Indiana has not trailed. Wilkerson got that up quick, well defended by West.
Second time Jake West has stood his ground in the post against a bigger guy. Wilkerson got to take him to the rim.
West, feel it!
I love this kid. He's so fun to watch. First tournament game ever. Unfazed. Coming out here carrying the Wildcats in the first half.
DeVries hit a couple baskets early, but hasn't scored in a while in this first half. And he throws a pick. West got it. Crop left alone. And Northwestern takes the lead for the first time.
Jake West looking like Deion Sanders out there, and then coming up, getting his Chris Paul on the other side. Showed a little bit of Ray Allen, why not?
Freshman to freshman, it's just the third 3 of the year for Tyler Crop. Northwestern taking the lead with Martinelli on the bench. Dorn, another 3 for him, his second today.
Back and forth we go. Crop tries to take the charge right there, takes a risk. And you do that against this Indiana team, you open up shooters. Second or third time Northwestern has kind of given up that advantage.
Crop just hit 1. Not going to press his luck. Here's Clayton pulling up. And DeVries the board as Martinelli comes up to the scorer's table waiting to check in. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Jake West and the rest of these Wildcats just did was buy Nick Martinelli about 2.5 minutes of rest that he normally does not get.
Tries to create, fading back, and he swishes it. And Northwestern will take a timeout with 1:33 to go here in the first half.
Somebody finally gets the best of West, taking Conaway right there, but he's been going. Watch him in the gap. Let me little D-back right there. Great vision. Doesn't have anything, and then plays point guard right here. That's what's going to be there all day for Northwestern. Crop knocks it down. But Indiana says, hold on, young fellas. We can dial it up too. Nick Dorn trying to find his rhythm. And then, as mentioned before, Jake West had something for the bigger fellas, but Tatum Conaway, crafty with it off 1 foot.
Indiana took a punch. This was back on February 24th. You see the note at the bottom in gold. And Northwestern won the game, led for just 3.5 minutes. And tonight it seems like a replay of what we saw in the first meeting. As we know, it only matters when the clock is 0 who has the lead. But Northwestern just led once briefly, and well done by Indiana to really respond to that run by the Wildcats. Up top, great design there by Chris Collins. Indiana's been loading up, so he gets bodies moving side to side. Know they're going to load heavy to the roll. Back cut for the lob. Enright and Bailey can't connect. And for Indiana, it's the 7th turnover of the half.
Yeah, that was the right play by Reed Bailey. Just a little bit of mistiming between him and Enright. And here you go, watch. It's Tyler Crop this time. The heavy bump, but you see Nick Dorn lifts out of that corner, and Sheravino just sneaks in behind him. Great recognition, great play call.
Look how well Northwestern is protecting the ball. It's what they do. Just 2 turnovers, and both of those turnovers came in the first 8 minutes of the game.
A little bit of zone right there from Northwestern. Jake West, great job.
Martinelli will go to the line after Connor Enright's first foul. It is just the 3rd team foul against Indiana.
We talked about earlier, Guy, how great Jake Reed and Jaden West have been, or excuse me, Jake West and Jaden Reed have been together.
There's Carolyn, Nick Martinelli's mom.
Last week,
first free throws for Northwestern, first one made.
Yeah, last week Northwestern had Purdue on the ropes and just couldn't close it out. Jake West didn't play in that game. Jaden Reed was great, but you saw why right there. Nick Martinelli had the mismatch with Enright. Nick Martinelli didn't even realize it's senior Jake West, freshman point guard, running air traffic control, recognized the mismatch and allows him to play.
Either team anywhere near the bonus as this first half winds down. And the shot clock is off. Northwestern could hold for the last.
Yeah, almost identical. Oh, Wilkerson started hot last time, started hot this time, cooling off a little bit.
Martinelli started slow today, but has gotten it going. Here's Reed to beat the buzzer. And that is how the first half ends. Indiana leading by 1. What a start for the Hoosiers, and what a response from the Wildcats.
And being aggressive, and when he got his rhythm going, he started knocking down shots as well. He could do that. He got to watch Jaden Reed get a couple reps, and Jaden Reed settled for pull-ups, but what that allowed Jake West to do is to get his plan together and figure out how to maneuver that Indiana ball screen defense.
You saw his numbers there, the first meeting with Indiana and so far tonight. He averages 5 points a game. His career high in his freshman year is 18. That came against Iowa. He's got it here. And on top of all the scoring, Jordan, Jake West didn't turn it over in that first half.
And none of these Northwestern Wildcats turn it over that much. Only 1 assist, but he had a couple plays. Hockey assist was a guy we could talk about later, but they need to add that into the stat sheet.
Here is Reed, a 3, and Sheravino, another possession for Northwestern.
Damon Bloomington, Northwestern, started the second half extremely aggressive. No Arrington Page, he was huge defensively. Let's see how they react here.
Reed tries again, and again, no, another offensive board. And Nick Martinelli is into double figures with that basket for a league-high 24th time this year.
Jaden Reed's shot's not going down. He dropped his head a little bit right there. He's playing well. He's got to keep playing hard. Can't let that bother him. But Northwestern starting this second half the same way they did in Bloomington.
West starting the second half the same way he finished the first, at the rim, and he matches the 16 that he had in that game in Bloomington in the last meeting.
Jake Moses West right there keeps his dribble alive in the C's part. He goes to finish. He fears none. This kid is special, man.
Alexis gives it up. DeVries had 5 points early in the game for Indiana. Shot clock is low. Alexis sees it. Alexis shoots, and Alexis, his team will get another possession. But Bailey draws the foul. And let's check in with Andy Katz.
Well, that defensive possession is exactly what Chris Collins was telling me was what they want. They want this to be much more of a half-court defensive game. That's where they came back. It was that transition defense early in the first half where Indiana was getting inside. They were missing some connections to, on some of those screens, and they were getting to the rim. That was a problem for Northwestern early. As for offensively for Nick Martinelli, he's getting triple teamed, double teamed, and Chris Collins basically told me he's just going to have to find a way to get his buckets, which he normally does. But Jake West, Trey Singleton, they have stepped up in the absence of scoring from Martinelli.
Yes, they have, Andy. And you asked a pointed question earlier in the half to Darren DeVries, excuse me, about what they need to do with Nick Martinelli, and that's stay ultra focused, which they have, but they've lost some focus in terms of taking care of the basketball. Nick Martinelli has been averaging around 16 points a game in the second half since the last time they played Indiana, so right on schedule.
Singleton. Here's Martinelli, free, 4 off 3.
It's like Andy Katz has a crystal ball over there. And Nick Martinelli, same way. He got a couple steals, easy buckets in that first game. Right here, he gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out to 3. He's going to find a way to put it in that hoop now.
Wilkerson answers, the 2 leading scorers in the Big Ten exchanging baskets.
Lamar Wilkerson started 5 of 6 last time out, finished 5 of 14. That's a welcome sight. That time gets the better of West. He backs him down, shoots over the top.
He averages 21 a game. Martinelli averages 23. Martinelli wants it again, and he gets fouled by Tatum Conaway. It's his first, and the first team foul of the second half for Indiana. This is, Andy was talking about him creating for himself. This was the previous possession, a couple possessions ago. He battles, gets it inside, and then finds some space for an open 3.
And what we didn't see in that first one was him getting double teamed right there. They love that play. Here he goes. But in that first clip, you didn't see him getting double teamed and kicking out and then keep battling for that rebound, finding ways to get his bucket. He's got 7 early right now.
Barely remember that he couldn't get a shot off for the first part of the first half.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to Jake West and Jaden Reed. Them scoring has forced Indiana to adjust from that drop into a switching D.
Danger zone and a timeout. Back-to-back double teams for Northwestern, and Reed Bailey calls the timeout in the corner with 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Not working since he was born, and he's going to work around to get that rebound with the smaller Lamar Wilkerson. And that's what Chris Collins is talking about, getting his baskets in that way, but got to give credit to Jake West.
And Jordan, you know this when you're a senior and you're about to finish your career. Nick Martinelli has not been playing these games, the last this, the last that. He's playing every single game as if it was the first. And that's what Chris Collins told me. He's not sort of relishing in this ending. He's trying to continue to begin it over and over again. And I think we're seeing here that he's not going on some sort of swan song.
That's a great point, Andy. And that's one of those things that's easier said than done. You want to do that, but it's hard to focus that way. So you got to give credit to Martinelli for staying locked in.
What an interesting mental twist there. Meanwhile, Minnesota has played some really good basketball, particularly down the stretch. They've gotten the results, leaving the hotel and headed this way. Hop on the bus and play Rutgers coming up next.
See if any Bobby Durkin chance break out in here like they do at the barn.
He keeps playing the way he's playing. It might happen.
Illinois kid coming home. First Big Ten tournament transfer over for Davidson. And to your point, he's been lights out. Big Ten play.
Foul on Nick Dorn, who's coming off the bench today for Indiana. That's second team foul. West trying to get it in. He just got to get it out. And Martinelli has it. 16 points for Nick Martinelli. Step back read over the length of Bailey, and a good board for Wilkerson. His 4th rebound.
Shot not going for Reed. Martinelli had the switch on Connerway, but again, Reed has to stay aggressive because they're going to need him down this stretch.
DeVries. Wilkerson back and forth and rocks all the way to the rim.
Rock a baby right there. The freshman can't stay with Wilkerson. That's the same play we saw in the first half, guy. Trey Singleton did a great job at staying awake this time, but Wilkerson puts it on the deck, takes advantage of foot speed.
Martinelli on the switch, wants it. Connerway on him. Bailey coming to help, and Bailey takes it away.
Great job by Connerway to force the spin. Perfectly timed shot.
Wilkerson will go to the line. 5 minutes gone by in this second half. A tournament resume.
The loss here obviously would be devastating, but Guy, I think that we need to go on a quest to steal Mike DeCourcy's abacus, man. I want to know how he comes to these projections. The first team out, that's got to be a national treasure. He's a wizard with it.
I wouldn't know what to do with his abacus if I stole it.
Sell it, of course. For a fortune.
Okay. A 1-point Northwestern lead. Jake West has 16 points, looking for more. And a strong rebound for Nick Dorn.
Outstanding possession. Tate Connerway right there. They run the rip screen for Nick Martinelli. Back screen to get him into the post. Tate Connerway fights. Doesn't allow entry. Forces a settle for Northwestern.
Just 2 field goals made in the second half for the Hoosiers. Bailey, bothered by Martinelli. DeVries has to shoot it. And he cannot hit a buzzer beater at the end of the shot clock. He's still sitting on 5 points. Martinelli in transition. And that's well defended.
Oh, Wildcat bench running.
Oh, Singleton goes down, but Connerway can't take advantage. You see Singleton pop up, and DeVries fouls Martinelli, and then a little extra contact afterwards, and they pat each other on the chest. Good sportsmanship between those two. It's the first foul on DeVries. The foul's called there, and then that came after.
Buckle right there.
Got his feet caught.
He's got his feet caught, or Tate Connerway caught his feet up for him with that little jig, little in and out. I don't know. Tate Connerway speedy.
Officials are going to the monitor to check to see if there was anything beyond just the personal foul on DeVries. Could you get a dead
Call
ball?
on the court is a common foul on 12 play. After the dead ball, the action is being reviewed.
DeVries, you could understand some frustration. He hasn't scored in the last 22 minutes. So you'll see the foul early here. And then this comes after the whistle.
Upon review, no further action is required.
Probably helps that they little low 5 afterwards. And you just heard the announcement there. No additional penalty for that tie-up.
In the words of the great motivational coach Herman Boone, a.k.a. Denzel Washington, let the boys play, man. Let the boys play.
Now, if you're going to do that, don't you have to do it in a Denzel voice?
Yeah, I ain't got that right
You don't
now.
have that?
I ain't got that in my bag. I got a lot in there, but. Those two went back and forth in Bloomington as well. Had a couple of skirmishes. Two great competitors. Nick Martinelli talked about it. He enjoys that.
Martinelli. Oh, 2 more. 18. He didn't score for the first 8.5 minutes of this game.
I've never seen a team run the same play over and over again for game winners. Everything end line out of bounds works time and time again.
Desai Miles was wide open, and DeVries tracks down the board. And goes to the deck. Mullins comes out with it. Up ahead, West, and he's fouled. He went down hard, and he's going to force himself up off the floor.
Jake West.
The crowd is reacting. The officials, you could see, might very well go to the monitor. Some strong contact to the head of West by Nick Dorn, who was called for the personal.
That's going to get upgraded in my eyes. Nothing malicious, though, from Dorn, just going to contest and missed on the swipe.
A player in the air, as West is here, is particularly susceptible, and the potential flagrant foul will be officiated that way.
Call on the court is a common foul on 7. Initiated by the officials, reviewed for potential upgrade.
Chris Collins was hot over on that Northwestern sideline. The Wildcats beat Penn State yesterday to earn the right to play today against Indiana. He is getting fired up. This team has been in so many close games this year. Many have not gone their way. And he's trying to get his team to tomorrow. As you take another look at that hard foul from Dorn, the officials appear to be done at the monitor. Collins saying, I'm going to handle this.
Chris Collins fired up right there. Jake West gets up. He's all right. But you see Chris Collins hold everybody back but himself. He was the one most fired up right there.
Could Jake West be any more Philly?
You know, no. Short answer, no, man. But
here comes the announcement from Brian Dorsey.
Upon review, common foul on 7 has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. As a result, Northwestern will shoot 2 free throws and retain possession on the baseline with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, God, that's the right call, no question. But I think it is important to always mention Nick Dorn. There's nothing malicious in that play. I think he's just playing hard. He winds up, hits him on the head, just going for the block, and arm length ran out. You kind of see his face right there in the screen, kind of like, but just 2 competitors going at it and takes him out. Good call by the officials. And the words of Herman Boone, never rang more true.
You're still not going to do it, are you?
Not going to do it, man. I should. I got to go back and I haven't seen the movie in a little while.
You know, it's so significant. You think about, they're going to get 2 free throws and the ball in what is a 3-point game. It's the most they've led by today is 4. Jake West has not been to the line yet tonight. In fact, Northwestern's only taken 2 free throws. So now he's got a chance to give Northwestern its largest lead of the game. And he does it by matching a career high with 18 points.
Talk about that swing right there. Northwestern scores a potentially 4 or 5 point possession. But Indiana just has had no momentum since that 10-11-minute mark in the first half, and doesn't seem to be coming. They have to find a way to get back some of that aggressiveness, attack the rim, get inside to Alexis. Wilkerson going downhill.
The Northwestern really make Indiana pay for that flagrant foul. Martinelli is going to go to the line. He gets fouled by Alexis.
That's the risk you run. We saw it a couple times in the first half with Northwestern. Connor Enright's good defense right there. He tries to draw the charge, but you got Nick Martinelli going to his left. You cut his left hand off. He's got nowhere to go but back to that right. See on the spin, Alexis was right there. I get what Enright's trying to do, but in that situation, just play solid. Martinelli hasn't done a good job out of that double today.
15 foul on Indiana. You know, running backs change hands when they're shooting. But do guys shoot 15-footers and change hands from the right hand to the back and forth?
A couple apparently. We talk about a pivotal moment here for Northwestern. Jake West goes out, Jaden Reed back in. Jaden Reed is more than capable. He struggled though, and it's showing in some of his body language. He's gonna have to step up here and run this offense. Here's Miles.
slow. DeVries. Tough. It's been tough sledding for him on offense.
As outstanding from Northwestern. Miles on the drive. They'll let him play one-on-one. Everybody stays home. Mullins does a great job at being in position and closing to his man.
Double comes. Reed. Martinelli. Slap down, scores. Mom loves it.
Everybody except people wearing red love that one. Even the people at home. Talk about going left. He can go right too, but it's going to come back to the left. No clue how he gets that to go in. And you see on this side, it's a two-way closeout from Dorn. He's closing from his man, showing bodies, doing what he's supposed to do. The Northwestern fans love it.
Martinelli 2 of 4 at the line. Completes the three-point play. Martinelli has almost scored twice as many points in the second half as the whole Indiana team. He's got 13, Indiana has 7, and he gets a rest.
Yeah, that's been the trend for Martinelli over these last 6 games. Second half, he is taking it over. And Northwestern, you can play defense, not turn it over, and you got Nick Martinelli. You can be in a lot of games.
Can Indiana take advantage of Martinelli out? Chris Collins trying to get him a little more rest before the TV timeout. And there is Tyler Kropp swatting that out of bounds. Well, you knew Nick Martinelli was going to show up today. The winner of that next game will get UCLA. And a whistle and a foul on Jordan Clayton before the inbound. It's the second on Clayton. So far today, the team's trailing at halftime at 2-0. And Northwestern was down by 1 at the break. And has totally flipped the script here in the second half. Look at those numbers for Indiana offensively.
You said it. It doesn't matter what the score is when it's zeros in that second half.
Honorway got popped and goes down, and now Northwestern is called for the foul. And it's on Kropp, and let's check in with Andy.
You know, momentarily we just saw the bracket, and if there was ever a good draw for a 15 seed, this was it for Northwestern because of their advantage against Penn State. They'd just beaten Indiana, and if they can win this game, they go against a Purdue team. We did that game a week or so ago. They were right there within the final minute to beat the Boilermakers in Evanston. And as for Minnesota coming up next against Rutgers, if they can beat Rutgers, they take on a UCLA team that they just beat a couple weeks ago in Minneapolis. So there's a lot of positivity for those teams that played on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Conaway gets fouled. You also wonder, you know, you lose the element of surprise once you've already beaten that team.
You talk about teams like Rutgers, who has some bench depth, and Northwestern, who's been playing so well. If there was a Coach of the Year award for the last 3 weeks, Chris Collins would certainly be in the conversation, despite the record. The growth that Northwestern has had throughout the course of the season through injuries has been phenomenal.
That foul on Nick Martinelli that puts Conaway at the line is the 3rd foul on this possession for Northwestern. And, you know, you're talking about an Indiana team that's 2nd in the league. They're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. Up around 77%. So can Indiana kind of find its groove at the line, perhaps?
It started with Connor Enright being super physical on the end line out of bounds offensively.
And now Martinelli needs a timeout. And Northwestern will have just 2 left for the final 11 and a half. Struggling to get that in, and maybe Indiana's got a little bit of a spark now. Right now, get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for just $5.99 a month with promo code SAVE26. You get access to hundreds of live Big Ten sporting events, full and condensed replays, and every live postgame press conference during this Big Ten basketball tournament. Just scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com. Make sure you enter SAVE26 when selecting a monthly pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer.
Yeah, you mentioned Indiana getting some momentum, but it's been all Nick Martinelli in this second half. Heard Andy talk about he's got to score in different ways. Some of it's on his own, get out to do it yourself kid. Some of it's by design. with Chris Collins putting him in great positions to score. One thing we know, Mama's going to be there cheering him on. He's drawing that energy from her. And right now, Indiana trying to bring back some of that aggressiveness. Tate Conaway and Connor Enright, that whole possession has been initiating contact, initiating pressure. It might have to be those two guards that gets Indiana back rolling.
It wasn't easy getting it in after the timeout either. It does feel like Indiana's just got a little bit of life now. Martinelli unattended.
Wilkerson, impossible decision right there. Great zone offense from Northwestern.
Conaway has it knocked away. Here comes Reed. Cherovino gets his way inside to score.
A couple of mistakes right there from Conaway. Drives and has the turnover, trying to make a play, and then right there, that's Angelo Cherovino. He shoots 21% from three. You got to close out super short. Make him knock down that three.
Cherovino getting the start with Arrington Page out again. Foul is on Trey Singleton. Oh, pardon me, it's on Cherovino, his second, 6th team.
Great response right there from Conaway. A couple of mistakes, but doesn't put his head down. Cherovino's a tough matchup. He's a big defender, 6'7", but Conaway understands the paint's going to be open in this Indiana offense. Gets to that right hand, gets back to the line.
There was some energy for Northwestern in the building, and a couple of fouls. That long possession the last time for Indiana's quieted things down a little bit. Conaway, a 75% free throw shooter. Gets 1 of 2, and now Bailey's going to come back in. And Conaway will get a deserved rest.
Conaway really struggled with injury throughout the course of this Big Ten conference play. This is a big lineup for Indiana that we saw to start the game.
Need to just slow down a little bit on this end. Martinelli, extra pass, West. And a foul on Enright, pushing Martinelli out of the way. And into the bonus goes Northwestern.
And again, it's Nick Martinelli who ends up matched up with Connor Enright in a box-out situation. Connor Enright had no chance. He was coming down to crack, but Indiana in this 2-3 zone is in a full rotation. The bottom guy is coming up to the wing, and the middle guy is rotating out to the corner, which creates a lot of those lanes to get offensive rebounds. Unique.
Isn't this part of the fun of a tournament? Next game, hanging out watching.
Like AAU, high-level AAU. Nostalgia.
Waiting to play Rutgers. It's just so fun because partly it's so different than what you get. But it's not just the fans who get to see multiple games, it's the players.
Tournament style is always going to be fun. Everybody in one place. Basketball convention.
Halfway through the second half, Enright tees up a 3, and he knew it out of his hand. That was wide right.
Jaden Reed having words for Connor Enright. Game plan discipline. Heavy plug right there on the stunt. Forces the throwback. Enright hit that in the first half.
Reed hits the 3. And Indiana needs a timeout. The lead has grown to 13. The Hoosiers have made just 2 field goals in this half.
Jaden Reed has made just 2 field goals in this game. And he's had his head down at times, but he's played really well defensively and offensively. He's got 5 assists, just hasn't made shots. And he gets himself going defensively, talking a little bit, and then gets a rhythm 3, only 27% above the break. But he steps into that one, knocks it down. Relentless Jaden Reed pushes that lead for Northwestern even more.
Indiana's missed its last 6 shots. They've been without a field goal for almost 6 minutes, and it has coincided with Nick Martinelli, the league's leading scorer, playing like it. He has outscored the Hoosiers by 5 in this half. And remember, he didn't score for 8.5 minutes to start the game. Indiana led by as many as 10 in the first.
Chris Collins has figured Indiana out, you know, expanding across different coaches. Normally it's a style thing when you have someone's number, but
Right, Northwestern has won 6 straight in the series, trying to make it 7 in a row. Can Indiana get DeVries going at all? Wilkerson's got 5.5. Trying to create something, and that was soft.
that's tough. That's a tough way to live. Lamar Wilkerson can do it, but to get back in this game now, he's going to have to make some tough shots.
He's got 17. But he is the only Hoosier in double figures. West. Singleton fouled by Bailey, and he'll go to the line.
Jake West doesn't finish that one, but again, finding a lane to the basket. Forces the rotation, opens up the offensive glass for Trey Singleton this time. Jake West continues to have impact, even he's not scoring.
Singleton has been a good free throw shooter this year. Both teams, neither team got to the bonus in the first half. Both teams here in the bonus with plenty of game left.
I don't think there's anybody who wants to win for Nick Martinelli more than Chris Collins. Especially after he came back this year in this environment. You know the options that these guys have. Nick Martinelli, season hasn't always gone their way, but still battling. And even when Martinelli goes, these young Northwestern players are something to be excited about in Evanston.
DeVries still sitting on 5 points. Remember, he came out and looked good to start this game. Wilkerson, line drives is short, and it goes out of bounds to the Wildcats.
Northwestern does a great job at passing it off. Martinelli, Wilkerson catches about 2 feet off the line, and this goes back into Indiana. They had a concerted effort to go inside. Now they've started to settle a little bit for jumpers. They only shoot 34% from 3. That's 10th in the conference, despite being 4th in attempts. They have to find a way again to attack this rim.
Jake West sitting on a career high 18 points. It also matches the Big Ten tournament freshman record for Northwestern. West with the shot clock low, creates for Singleton, and he gets fouled by DeVries.
Fantastic offense from Northwestern, and that's the difference between the first half. As you're going to see it right here, after all the rotation, Jake West finds Singleton. That's a tough call if you're Tucker DeVries. You've been the recipient of some tough ones this year, but it puts the officials in a tough spot when you move the ball like that and you're in rotation. Sometimes it's just a look. And Nick Martinelli in the first half, it was the bigs trapping. Now they've gone to the switch. It's Connor Enright on Martinelli, and even though they're bringing a big, Martinelli's doing a better job now just getting it out of his hands quick. You go around the horn, and then you got your best playmaker, or one of your best playmakers, in Jake West, getting into the paint.
Well, who had Northwestern making as many threes as Indiana? Or maybe Indiana making as few as Northwestern. They have 5, which is Northwestern's pace, but that is not Indiana's typical pace.
It is not. Yeah, goes to the coaching, the game plan.
Conaway just got stuck in the air. 11 turnovers for Indiana. West trying to settle it down. Chant of "Let's Go Cats" emanating here at the United Center. The shot clock is low again, and that goes out of bounds. A turnover for Northwestern. Chris Collins trying to get his Wildcats to a matchup with Purdue tomorrow on a beautiful Chicago night.
Every single Northwestern player getting in on the action, bringing the pain to Indiana, bringing the fight to their front door. And Indiana has had no response to the physicality of the Wildcats.
Nick Martinelli, 20-point game, back-to-back days, going back to previous tournament experience. It's 4 straight Big Ten tournament games with 20. He had the most 20-point games in the league this year. This is his 24th as Jordan Clayton commits his 3rd foul. And that will send Indiana to the line. Coming up July 11th, the BTN Big 10K returns to Soldier Field in Chicago. Scan the QR code or register right now at btnbig10k.com to be a part of the 10K or the 5K race and post-race tailgate party.
You gonna run a 10K?
Sure. I've been here for the 10K. The city is just, it's so cool, swarming with every fan base.
What were you doing when everybody was running the 10K?
I was on the architecture tour, boat tour. Which is also awesome. But I found the tailgate.
See, that's what I was getting at. I was right with you there.
Clayton hits the 3.
Jaden Reed again. That time, Indiana stays home. Jaden Reed keeps the dribble, attacks the paint, gets his 6th assist. Jordan Clayton, always going to make a time to play.
6 threes for Northwestern, 5 for Indiana. That's number 6. Connerway. And Indiana, they average 10 made threes a game. That stops a 20-5 run. And we'll see if it stops a 20-5 run.
Connerway, the only Hoosier seemingly playing with a little bit of life, trying to will them back in. Not his strength right there, but knocks it down.
Marnelli splits the double and scores 26 points.
It's all small lineup, so they're switching with Martinelli. They're bringing the double. DeVries over pursues. Martinelli with the split.
Wilkerson, no. Clean up, Dorn, no. And Singleton the board.
Dorn only 7 shots on the season inside that restricted area. Not his comfort zone, trying to get on the board, trying to make an impact in any way he can, just can't finish.
Marnelli again. Again the double count. He got hit in the face and holding his nose. Here comes Connerway, 1-on-2. Connerway, that's tough. And a whistle underneath on him after the rebound from Jordan Clayton. And let's go back at the Marnelli basket 2 possessions ago.
See the switch right there, and Tucker DeVries goes for the steal instead of walling up. Well, that is vintage Nick Martinelli, just the low sweep through. Watch Tucker DeVries run right by him. Whoop. Worry about all that. You know where I'm going. Back to this left. Faithful.
In some way a replay of what happened in the first meeting 15 days ago when Indiana led by 13 in the first half at Assembly Hall. Northwestern locked down on defense in the second half.
31% in the second half in the first meeting, 63 in the first half for Indiana. And that first game, it was a lot of Arrington Page defensively covering things up. It's been another team effort.
This time without Page as Reed gets whistled for the foul.
Northwestern is perfectly in sync on defense. Right there, they're going to show at the point of attack. Nick Martinelli in a full rotation, and Jaden Reed has his back on the cut. Gets a foul called, but again, defensively, those are the fouls you can live with, because more times than not, you're going to force a turnover or a bad shot. Making Indiana work for everything.
Josiah Miles makes the first free throw. Just over 5 minutes to go here in regulation. The winner plays Purdue tomorrow. A Northwestern team that tipped off tonight 23 hours after they tipped off yesterday, showing no signs of fatigue. Great job. They've gotten stronger in the second half. Sorry, George.
Oh, my bad. Good job by Tucker DeVries right there. You mentioned them getting stronger, but Tucker DeVries Good job stunting, getting back, going vertical at the rim.
Bailey fouled at the rim.
It's been one of the struggles for Indiana this year, or more specifically for Reed Bailey. Right there, it's a great delivery. You're 2 feet from the basket. You got to get 3 out of that. Jake West is 6 feet. He scrambles to contest, but Reed Bailey's got to be more physical, play through that contact.
Second foul on Jake West. The good news for Indiana is that let's put him in the double bonus, but they got to make the free throws.
Faces say it all sometimes. You know? Indiana, you just got to find some life. To your point, 10 threes a game. Your strength is shooting the basketball, so when you can do that, all it takes is a couple possessions.
But Wilkerson commits his second foul, and 2 free throws coming now for Northwestern. They can put the clamps down at the free throw line as well. It's a good point. I mean, Indiana can score in a hurry. They have not, and this is the challenge with Northwestern. It's so hard to turn them over. Northwestern has 5 turnovers in this game.
So hard to turn them over, but at the same time, Indiana's taking some gambles. They're going to that switch. This Northwestern offense can get bogged down at times too, and there's still enough time. You get a couple stops, a couple scores. You go from 16 to 10, 16 to 8. Put a little game pressure on this Northwestern team, who has had some trouble closing games at times.
Four and a half to go. DeVries trying to heat up. And another board for Martinelli.
Indiana all trying to do it one at a time. That's a problem with the threes. DeVries can make that. That's heavily contested. He had the mismatch. Force a double and then put it into rotation, or just take the layup.
Good job by Reed to get the ball out. Northwestern's had some good possessions and eaten clock with those possessions here late in this game. Shot clock is low. Reed. No, but Singleton the offensive rebound. And Chris Collins tells Jake West just pull it back out.
And Jake West is like, man, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before.
In his conference tournament debut, the freshman Jake West. All the way in. And another offensive rebound. West with the 18 points and still the no turnovers.
Still the no turnovers continue. Every time he attacks that rim, even though he's not finishing, he's opened up that offensive glass.
This possession almost a minute long. Martinelli can't hit the 3. Wilkerson, the league's second leading scorer, with 17 points. But the league's leading scorer, Nick Martinelli, is doing his thing again. 26 points for the Northwestern star. The chef of Cook County is at 26 for Nick Martinelli tonight, still in the game here with 3:06 to go. Andy?
You know, I was speaking with the selection committee chair, Keith Gill, earlier today in Indianapolis, and wanted to remind everyone there is no such thing as an elimination game, because you never know what's going to happen when they're selecting the last couple of teams in the field. Already today, SMU lost, Cincinnati lost. Now Auburn did win. Now the Mountain West 8-10 in the MAC. What if there are no bid fees? So if Indiana does lose this game in the final 3 minutes, obviously it doesn't look good for them, but you cannot say they are eliminated, because you have to see what happens with the rest of the teams in their neighborhood come Saturday night and Sunday.
That's a great point. And you know, entering play today, the first of the first 4 out, which puts them at the first line of the bubble. That was Mike DeCourcy's projection. Shot clock low for Reed, and that was bothered by DeVries. I think he got a piece of it. Indiana trying to end a 2-year tournament drought. Bailey inside foul fouled by Singleton. This is the bubble according to Mike DeCourcy entering play today. The last 4 in, and then Indiana the first of the first 4 out. But the resume that's put them right on the bubble, still their resume.
I don't know, man. It feels like an elimination game.
Well, go talk to Andy about it.
I don't know, Andy.
Andy did the. You're talking about the official. That was the official recording. You just got, Jordan.
All right.
As Bailey makes the free throw. Wow, what a turnaround from the first 10 minutes of this game. Northwestern playing yesterday, and both teams came out and shot it well. Indiana shot it well in the first half, led by 1. As Wilkerson goes for the steal, can't get it. 2 minutes to go. Northwestern is hovering around 50% shooting for the game. West to beat the shot clock. And Conaway comes out with it, well tapped by Enright. And Conaway scores.
Weaving through traffic into the hills, still into the cup, still playing with life.
You mentioned it is an Indiana team that can make threes quickly. But one of the problems has been Northwestern has just been able to milk the clock on offense.
Yeah, it's been the offensive glass. Every rebound from Northwestern has been challenged. Or every defensive rebound by Indiana, I should say, has been challenged by Northwestern. Now the problem is, 3.5 minutes ago, they could have got some stops, made some shots, and now it's got to pray that the free throw bug bites Northwestern, or that you start talking prematurely or something to give some of that jinx.
Well, I don't know if anybody, Jaden Reed's an 83% free throw shooter.
See, look at you.
He's got the bug spray.
These Northwestern guards, Jaden Reed and Jake West, a couple weeks ago when they played in Bloomington, I confidently threw out a jinx to Jake West, knowing that he would make them anyway.
1 and 2 for Reed. Wilkerson just trying to find his way, and a rebound for Martinelli. So Purdue awaits.
Purdue as well. Excuse me, if you're Purdue as well, this is a Northwestern team that took you to the to the brink without Jake West in the lineup. Purdue's been struggling defensively, so Northwestern got the makings of our first Cinderella of the postseason.
It was a week ago. Tucker DeVries certainly hoping for more games ahead in the NCAA tournament. What a great run with his father, Darren, at Drake. You think about the pride he must take in helping his father start the DeVries era here at Indiana. NCAA tournament is obviously still the hope here for Indiana, and still a good chance of it. He hopes it's not the last time he's put on an Indiana uniform. As Bailey is fouled.
Yeah, gonna wave the white flag here. But Tucker DeVries, Lamar Wilkerson, both those guys have bright futures at the next level as professionals, regardless of where it is. The way they can shoot the basketball, Tucker DeVries, the way he can pass the basketball, you get him. I can see him as one of those guys, with the guard, the way he's spacing the floor at the next level. Lamar Wilkerson, the same thing. High IQ guys. Be interesting to see where their journey takes them.
Everything you say about DeVries and the role this year, the same for Wilkerson. And he was a second-team All-League player. Wilkerson, he broke Indiana's conference scoring record that stood since 1953. And so much went right, so many high moments for Indiana, but its conference run will come to an end here in Chicago in the second round. Northwestern will win its second game in as many days. The freshman Jake West dribbling it out, matching a career high with 18 points, matching a Northwestern Big Ten tournament freshman mark of 18 points. And so similar to the game 2 weeks ago, that is the first turnover of the game for Jake West, by the way, dribbling out the shot clock. How about that? The box girls say he has one. But let the record show it was a sportsmanship turnover.
Well, you know, normally I think that they'll give the team turnover for that. Hopefully,
okay, good.
Give the team turnover, so not individually credited to him.
Correct. A point guard would know the official ruling on that.
You got to keep track of it. You see the joy for Nick Martinelli and Chris Collins as he came out of the game.
What a win for Northwestern, running away from Indiana. They've won now 7 straight against the Hoosiers. It's the first time they've picked up 2 conference tournament wins since 2017, and Northwestern will face Purdue tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting matchup right here at the United Center. Purdue better bring their hard hat.